take advantage of that really long range. All right, so let's talk about Soraka's ultimate. I guess it's just called Wish. It heals every single person on your team for a certain amount, which, oh man, that sucks. We lose the tower. What was I saying? Yes, it heals every single person on your team for a certain amount, regardless of where they are. It's very strong in all kinds of ways. It does mean you really have to pay a lot of attention to what's going on all over the map. If there's a fight starting or somewhere, you've got to look and you've got to be ready to drop a heal. And when you drop a heal is a little bit of a science. Ideally, you sort of don't want to use it until you absolutely have to, because you don't want to waste your ultimate too early. On the other hand, sometimes your team will start to run away when they get low, whereas they really don't need to if there's a heal coming. So it depends. If you're on Skype, then it's not a problem. But in a pug game like this, where people don't necessarily know if you're watching, sometimes you want to use it a little bit early in the fight so that your team feels confident enough. Then they realize, oh, I have plenty of health. I can stay in this fight and win it. The other thing you can kind of do with heal is like snipe assists. It's kind of funny. Even if you know your team's going to be fine, like in a fight somewhere, they're going to get a kill for sure, and they don't really need a heal. You could, oh, this is bad, I'm going to try, alright, I think Malhazar is going to escape. I get stunned, out of tower range, I'm definitely getting low. Okay, my heal's back up, who am I going to heal? It looks like I healed myself, although I was ignited, so I didn't actually get a whole lot out of it. This is tough, I'm low, I definitely don't want to, I want to be careful here. Okay, drop a heal on Pantheon, I think. Keeping an eye on everyone's mana. Oh, Malhazar is low. Heal him, good. My heal's not doing a whole lot, because I don't have much in the way of AP. But it's still pretty good. Oh, Pantheon may go down. Wow, finally a kill. That is a huge, huge skirmish. I guess the occasional heal makes it possible for these skirmishes to go on a little bit longer here. Of course, we also have Tarek doing some healing. We don't really have a fixed tank, although Jax is tough. Tarek is kind of tough. But we figured, like, you can see. Sorry, I forgot to say who I'm playing with. I'm playing with Demonac, who's playing as Tarek. Although we're not on Skype or anything like that, and the rest of it is just a random group. So we decided to go with a pretty healy composition and see how that would work out. This skirmish is still going on, which is incredible. Tarek just got a stun off there. So we're keeping them low while all of us are at full health. My mana is a little bit low because I've been infusing other people. I believe I just infused myself here. So we're going to be able to hold this for a pretty good long time. But you can see what happened here. We've really clumped up in a group of 3. And if we wanted to, we could bring another person in here, and I could sort of babysit one of the lanes with Fortify, although apparently I've just used it somewhere. Fortify! Excuse me. It's too early in the morning. Fortify has kind of a long cooldown. Looks like I'm running to the top here. I don't remember if I talked to... Ooh. He might be okay. He might not be okay. It depends on how aggressive people are being. No, I guess he's survived. Ah, shit. Not quite. Yeah, I don't remember if I finished talking about the Wish, like, assist sniping or not. I don't remember, but... sorry if this is duping it. But yeah, if you know your team is going to get a kill, you can just fire off your Wish and heal your teammates, even if they don't really need it. And then you will get an assist for that kill, which means you get a little bit of money and pad your score a little bit, but mostly it's about getting the money. And one of the interesting builds I've seen... Oh, Pantheon is dropping in here. Catches Scion, follows up with a stun, his spear attack. I actually flash forward here. I wasn't sure if he was going to be able to escape. Turns out that flash was not really useful, or was not really needed. But I thought I might be able to snipe him just in case he was escaping. Yeah, one interesting build I've seen with Soraka is to go and pick up a Mijay's Soul Stealer, like ASAP. Rush a Soul Stealer, and then assist snipe whenever possible, and fill up your Mijay's Soul Stealer just by using Wish to participate in team fights, even if you're not actually at the team fight. It's kind of interesting. That's not what I'm doing here, although I did start with a Amplifying Tome. So let's talk about item builds for a little bit. I tried a variety of different builds. I went to leaguecraft.com to see what other people are doing. I tried to pay attention more recently to what other people are doing in-game and some of the videos and things. and tried a few different combinations, and I was having a hard time finding one I was really happy with. Part of the issue is that, yeah, you could go with like mana regen items or aura items or something like that, but well, the aura items, or the mana regen items I really don't need, because I've got a fair amount of mana regen runes, plus with the infuse spell, I never run out of mana. So, tried a few different things, and then the aura items, they're like, okay, great, so I'm helping to contribute to the team a lot, but I'm still not really doing much myself, and my heals are pretty weak. Like, I'm dropping heals on people, and it's not really being enough to save them. So I realized I really like some more AP. Your heal scales, I think, 0.6 health per AP, which is not huge, although your wish is 0.9 health per AP, and since that's multiplied across 5 people, it's actually very strong. So yeah, I figured I would like AP because I would like more burst healing more than anything else. So I started looking at the items, and I realized that the Will of the Ancients would actually be a really, really nice item in Soraka. It's a pure AP item, but then it gives an aura that gives your entire team, well, around you, within range, more AP, and spell steal, or what's it called? Spell vampirism, life steal for spells. And that seemed like a really good idea because A, I'm increasing the strength of my heals, but B, I'm making my team hit harder. Again, even physical champions tend to scale up with AP. In fact, and I mentioned this in my Janna video, because I think I went Will of the Ancients in there too. In fact, physical champions often have very good AP scaling ratios because they're not generally going to get much AP. The AP that they do get works out very well. A lot of them have like a 1-to-1 AP scaling. So everyone is basically going to benefit from AP. So it looks like we get a jump in on Scion here. Again, as Soraka, you don't want to play passively. You're not just there to support and heal people. You're going to want to nuke people whenever you get the chance. So there, I infuse them and silence them. Anything you can do to disrupt them is good. Once you get to rank 4 infusion, your silence lasts 3 seconds, which is actually a considerable amount of length. One thing you want to make sure is if you're playing against certain sets of heroes, for example, let's say you're playing against a Fiddlesticks, you want to absolutely save your infusion for when you see Fiddles. Because you may not be able to stop him from launching his ultimate, but if you silence him, you basically shut him down. After that, he's not going to be able to fear people, drain people. He's going to go down very quickly. He's not going to be able to silence people. That's one thing. You want to get him before he can put off his little bouncing crow attack, which silences people. Silence him first. Play aggressively in a win. You want to harass, and you want to be thinking in terms of who can I nuke with my infusion. But you're not going to be a heavy health character at any point, so you've got to make sure you stay out of danger as much as possible. So yeah, my build is I start with an Amplifying Tome, and then I immediately build. Usually this is going to be Boots of Mobility. This is actually I think my first game with the actual Boots of Mobility. I tried a couple others just to make sure, just because I've been addicted to these boots lately. But after testing out a few other boots, I'm pretty convinced that this is the set that I'm going to be going with almost always. You want to be able to reach team fights as soon as possible. You never want to be left behind. If you're clearing a top lane and then a fight starts in the middle, you want to be able to reach that point as quickly as possible, because if you're not with your team, you're not going to be saving them, and that sucks. I think this part of the game actually is kind of annoying because Udyr starts to decide he wants to push top aggressively, and I'm kind of pinned here for a while defending top, which is not really where I want to be with Soraka. I don't want to be soloing a lane. I want to be somewhere where I can heal teammates, but yeah, I think I do try to run back and forth between the top and middle, but I'm constantly forced back. Although now the Star Call is finally coming in handy. Once you get a little bit of AP, but you see, it hardly does any damage to these guys at all. It does help weaken them, and it is on a really short cooldown, of course. So, I mean, that's what it's all about. You've got to spam the crap out of it, but I don't know. It's not for me. Maybe with more practice, and I think I will be playing Soraka some more. Especially now that I've discovered how strong of a harasser she is. And I can see now why people can play her mid, which always surprised me before, but she's got such a long-range nuke, she can be a really, really good harasser in a solo lane like that. And she can stay in it indefinitely. As long as she doesn't do something crazy and get herself killed, she should be able to stay there forever and ever and ever. As you can see, this Udyr keeps trying to catch me with his stun. And he does move pretty quick when he's got it going on, so I do have to be careful. We've lost an ally in the middle. Pantheon